Today, I'm going to be coming to you guys with a comparison video of laser versus waxing. Hey y'all, it's your girl Funmi-Layo. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like this video because it helps other people to see the video, and make sure to subscribe because we have awesome content on this channel. Today, I'm going to be coming to you guys with a comparison video of laser versus waxing. So for starters, I thought I'd go ahead and provide the definition for both. So laser hair removal is a medical procedure that uses a concentrated beam of light to remove unwanted hair. So it emits a light that's absorbed by the pigment in our hair, and that energy is converted to heat that damages the hair follicles that produce our hairs, and it delays future hair growth. And as far as waxing goes, the wax pulls the hair from the root through repetitive tugs. The actual wax is a warm mixture that's applied to the skin and removed quickly once it cools. And there are two different types of wax, so soft and hard wax. So the soft wax, it requires strips to remove, and the hard wax, it firms up on its own, so you don't need the strips. I've had experience using both, and the hard wax, I've had experience being used on my underarms and Brazilian area, and the soft wax on my legs. So I have done both of these. I started off getting waxes, and to me, honestly, it was great. The only thing I didn't like is like that in-between stage, in between your waxes. I was getting it like every month kind of thing. So I just was like, I don't like how in the in-between stage, I can't even shave, or like there's no way to really remove the hair. Because what they were saying was that you get the best results if you wait that 4 weeks or that 3 weeks, because it allows all the hair to grow so that they can get all the hairs, and the results will be better, basically. So that's why I was doing it, y'all. And it was great. Everything was good. And I will say that I would have stuck with it, but with laser, you get the long-term effects of your hair growing less significantly, dramatically. Honestly, the results are dramatically less over time. So with that, it was like, yeah, definitely want to go that route. So with laser, the price point is higher. So laser is going to cost you, I want to say for like 6 sessions, depending on where you go, you could pay, if you go on Groupon, you're going to pay around the $200, $300. And that also depends on the area of your body you're doing. But basically laser is going to be in the hundreds. And I noticed for waxing, like let's say if you got a full body wax, my experience was that was around $65. And that wasn't even with a Groupon. That was just at my local wax spot. So the price point is significantly different. With waxing, you're typically doing it monthly. From what I know and what was told to me is for best results, at least do it monthly. And for laser, it's pretty much the same thing. You're doing it monthly. But the difference is with laser, you're getting those significant long-term effects pretty quick, right? But with waxing, I heard you can still get those effects, but you got to do it like years is what I heard. And let me clarify, not the same result as laser, but gradual hair thinning over time is what I've heard, that there have been instances of that. But they said everybody's different. For me, no, I wasn't getting those long-term effects. Maybe the hair was growing a little bit lighter, but not really, especially compared to the dramatic effects of doing laser. So it's definitely different. So in terms of pain, people say that waxing hurts more from what I've heard, but to me, waxing hurts less than laser. I do have to say it's not that bad now. The more times you go, the better it gets. And at this point currently, it's like less pain than waxing, probably less at this point. I still feel it, but it doesn't hurt me as much. So the more you go, it gets easier. The laser is like a zap, like a and that to me is like, it bothers me. The waxing is just like a whoosh, whoosh. And then, they'll pat that area of your body down after or whatever, or apply pressure or something like that. It doesn't hurt that bad for me. And I noticed for both of those, it helps when I talk to the person doing it just to distract myself. So maybe that's a tip that could help you guys. But I would say in terms of pain, waxing does not hurt as much. So waxing would have it in that regard. But remember, this is only for the first few laser treatments. After the first few, laser is easier. The overall experience time-wise, waxing takes longer. For the laser, it's pretty quick. For my underarms and my Brazilian, I want to say maybe like 10 minutes, if that. The lady, she moved pretty fast, you know? And for my legs, maybe for that one, like maybe 20 minutes. 20 minutes or longer actually for the legs. But it could be less though. It doesn't feel like long, but for the legs it's probably longer. But the underarms and the bikini area, the Brazilian area, very quick. So time-wise, I would say laser for underarms and Brazilian, but waxing would be faster for legs. So there's that. And for, just to put everything in perspective, I have had waxing and laser done on my underarms, Brazilian, and full legs. So those are the parts of the body that I'm going to be talking about when I'm recounting everything to you. I've talked about the long-term effects of laser, absolutely 100 times better. That's why it's a higher price point, because over time it decreases your hair growth. It kind of stunts it. I will say the in-between stage though is worse with waxing, because with waxing you're not supposed to shave really in between waxes, but with laser you can shave in between your treatments. So there's that. So if you're somebody that always likes to stay very hair free or whatever, you can easily do that with laser, because you're allowed to shave. And you can really shave in between your waxes, but they don't recommend that though. But with laser they do. And I will say though, like the results literally right after the treatment, I will say waxing is better, because literally right after waxing, everything is just so smooth. It is just amazing. Everything is like in tip-top shape. And I would say with laser, you've just shaved, so obviously you don't have any hair there or anything like that. But the best results is like that week or two after, where the hair sheds from, I believe it's the follicle or whatever. And that's when it really gets very smooth, that time when the hair sheds. So it's not immediately after the laser. It's like a week or two after. So when I'm talking about it being smoother the week or two after, it's going to still be patchy if you're not shaving it at the same time, just because, there are different levels of hair growth. For instance, in your Brazilian area, like you'll notice there'll be no hair certain places, and then there might be some hair in other places. So it's smoother in that sense, but when you shave it, then everything will be even. So even doesn't necessarily equal smoother. Hopefully this makes sense, because it's dependent on the way the hair sheds, and not all the hair is shedding the same. And with the price points, I do also want to say that you can get Groupon, so you can work around with the prices. Definitely keep that in mind. And waxing, they really don't ask you much. You just pretty much go in and get your wax. But for laser, it's a lot of paperwork and they got to make sure like with your health, it's appropriate for you to get. So there is that with laser. Waxing, nah, you just go in, they just do the do, and you're done. I have heard of people having like irritation though after waxes. So I think you got to know where you're going and like what they're using to wax. I don't know. I guess it depends on who you are, but I have never experienced that with waxing. And I will say, in terms of care, the amount of care you have to take after wax, it's really not much. Like, you're really good for the most part. But after a laser, no exercising, no steam rooms, no sauna, jacuzzi. Like, you can't moisturize that area. You gotta be careful with exfoliation for a certain amount of time. You can't wear deodorant for like, is it like a day, a couple days? Or there are different things. Like, you have to be mindful of when you take your shower, the temperature of the shower. Like, it's a lot of care that goes into laser. But laser has the best effects, right? But it's definitely, you have to maneuver. And especially like iron, I don't know if you're iron deficient, you got to be careful about the amount of iron you take 3 days before and 3 days after your treatment. Like, it's so many different things. Honestly, laser, it can get a little complicated now. But again, the care is not bad. I just wanted to emphasize that it is more than waxing. My camera actually cut off at this point, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment down below any experiences that you've had that you feel like might be helpful to somebody else. Comment down below whether you wax or you do laser, and I hope to see you on my next video. Thanks so much again for watching.